guys, I'm back with another video. So today's video is yet again another girl talk video, and today's title is Victoria's Secret. Do they fat shame? Are they homophobic? As of recently, Victoria's Secret had their annual fashion show, and you guys know each year around this month they have a fashion show in which they showcase the lingerie from their newest collection. So everybody knows within Victoria's Secret models, they are usually very thin, and their chest size is usually somewhere like a A to a B, and you might be a small C, very thin at the waist, and pretty much just a little bit of some hips, nothing too large. The ironic part about Victoria's Secret models is that they don't necessarily fit the beauty standard that is of today. In terms of body shape, at least. When it comes to body shape nowadays, it's usually the big boobs with a small tiny little waist and big hips, big butt, and have this hourglass figure. So it's kind of ironic how years ago it was really the trend to be pretty much thin all around and have smaller assets, but now it's not really like that. But Victoria's Secret has stayed true to how they have their models look when they're modeling their clothes. So I came across an article on Twitter and it just said Victoria's Secret doesn't want plus size or trans women walking the runway. And I found it kind of interesting because some people were trying to really take it so far as to say like, oh, that's discriminatory and they're not allowing everybody to be a part of their group. But honestly, and I know I might get some flack because I'm always talking about how to be included and how brands should include us, but I honestly feel on this topic that is a choice of Victoria's Secret. I know I've spoke about how Fashion Nova is not necessarily here for Black women in terms of how they project their ways of marketing through their models, but I will say their clothes, and some people have agreed, they are marketed towards people who have those types of bodies. When it comes to their jeans, honestly, personally for me, their jeans work for me. I mean, I honestly have only ever had one pair and I gave them to my sister, but when I did have the pair, it worked for me in terms of how stretchy it was, how long it was, because I'm 5'10", as well as the high waist to kind of keep everything of my stomach kind of sucked in, because you know, I'm getting a little bit of a gut. So when it comes to Victoria's Secret, so I know I talk about inclusivity and, you know, is this company here for you? Now, one thing I want to say about Victoria's Secret, I personally feel like there's nothing wrong with the way how they're advertising what they do. When it comes to things like Fashion Nova models don't even look realistic, okay? Their bodies are built and made, manufactured, bought, and made that way to look that way. When it comes to Victoria's Secret, granted, some of them may have breast augmentations, but for the most part, you can look at those women and you won't think, okay, they just look entirely fake. Now, that leads me to my point where I want to say, I don't see anything wrong with them not wanting to include plus size and trans models, because at the end of the day, Victoria's Secret does cater to women of all sizes. When you go to Victoria's Secret, you can get a bra, whether you're a triple A or a triple F, you can get a bra. When you go to Victoria's Secret, their sizes have ranges with their lingerie. I don't think there's a woman in this world can say they can go to Victoria's Secret and not find their size. Now, the quality of their things, that is completely opinionated. I personally feel like their quality is not even that good for the prices that they offer, but it's the precedent that has been set, how their prices reflect whatever they buy. Quite frankly, Victoria's Secret has somehow monopolized the lingerie industry. It's funny because the person who is actually behind Victoria's Secret is actually a man. That's actually what Victoria's Secret is, if you guys didn't know. That's why it's called Victoria's Secret, because the secret is Victoria is actually a man. I know. When it comes to their way of marketing their products, quite frankly, I don't see an issue with them not using plus size models as well as trans models, because that's their thing. And I wanted to read to you what somebody said on Twitter. Somebody said, I don't see an issue with this. It's their brand and they can choose who they want to represent their brand. People are too sensitive nowadays. Not everyone has to accommodate to what you want because it hurts your feelings. And I definitely agree. Now, when it comes to marketing for plus size models, I feel like they should, but I'm not mad that they don't, because they never did before. So why would they go ahead and acquire something that they were never doing before just because there's an outrage? The same way how a lot of these makeup brands never ever cater to women of darker skin because of their foundation and shade range, but now it's become a thing where there's going to be an outrage if you don't. All of a sudden those brands want to cater. No, I'm not going to buy from you because you didn't do it before. Now, Victoria's Secret, at the end of the day, they never marketed the plus size, but they've always catered to plus size. So I can see both sides of it. And now when it comes to having trans models, quite frankly, that one is also up for grabs as well. Me personally, should they? I don't think there really is a should or should not when it comes to talking about whether they should use trans models, because it's still becoming something that is normalized. The idea of being a transgender is a fairly very recent thing. And I think some people are still trying to adapt to that. It may work for other brands, but it may not work for others. Remember the time where people became so outraged of the hair company that started to change the formula of their products? I believe it was, what company? Come on, Chioma. It's like the most known natural hair company products, at least. I'm gonna flash it on the screen because I can't think of it right now. Oh my goodness, I cannot think of the name right now, but I will definitely have it on the screen. But I remember when they changed their products, people were so mad when their ingredients changed, and then they boycotted. You know why? Because they had a tradition as to how they held their products, but all of a sudden they changed it. With Victoria's Secret, they have never used plus size models. They have never used trans models. So why would they start now just to appease a certain population of people because they're upset about it? You guys were buying it before, their sales were still the same before, so they're not just going to sit up here and change it because a section of people want them to, if that makes sense. I honestly don't see an issue with them not doing it because they never did it before. It'd be one thing if they did, then they stopped, then they brought it back. It'd be one thing if they spoke out against trans models, or if they said they don't feel plus size models are beautiful. My thing is this, at the end of the day, people still buy their products. So the best thing to do is honestly buy from a company that shows that they are marketing to any and all sizes. Instead of getting outraged of one company that's not going to do it, find another company that does. And I know that's easier said than done because Victoria's Secret has monopolized the lingerie industry, but at the same time, there are tons of other places that have the same thing. So when I speak out against Fashion Nova, quite frankly, there are other fashion websites that I can get jeans from. And it's not because I don't want to shop about Fashion Nova. I just feel like if you're going to market to women who usually naturally have the body that you're putting on other types of women, at least post them on your page, you know? But it's like Victoria's Secret has lingerie for everybody.
And I did want to add that Victoria's Secret actually does use plus size models. They definitely do have plus size models that represent their clothing. I think the outrage just comes from the type of models that they use for their annual show, because their annual show is the most televised and probably the most talked about event that they host all year. Ashley Graham is a plus size model that has modeled for Victoria's Secret before. So it's not like they just completely say that it's not allowed to be used for their brand, but just in their show in particular, they just didn't use any plus size models.
I don't know, y'all. I honestly think they should include plus size models because it wouldn't hurt. Like, who are you going to piss off? You're probably going to get more of a hoorah, go you, yay, Victoria's Secret. But the fact that they don't do it, I don't see that as an issue. It's their brand and they can do whatever they want to do with it. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. What do you guys think about this? I saw this kind of going all over Twitter and I was just like, I don't know how to feel. Like, you know, I'm not mad at them for not doing it, but they probably should. But at the end of the day, it still is their brand. Please leave your comments, questions, and concerns on my commentary down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
Joanna, your busy body busy tonight. Joanna, making all the dummy tonight.